what is the dermal vector?
Okay, now in vector psychology, we have 8 vectors. Now, every vector, it was like a step on the bridge toward evolution. So every vector gave something to people, and that's how we evolutionized through vectors. Everyone has all 8 vectors, but one is dominant, then comes like secondary, so you can understand the character, and then the other ones. Now, the rest of the vectors, you cannot do nothing, you cannot develop them, you cannot make it stronger. Only your dominant, that's your character, doesn't change, no matter what you're gonna do. Because universe controlling, it's actually olfactory measure, you can say. Vector is controlling like who's gonna born, boy or girl, and what vector. If you paid attention, after war, born more boys usually. So in order to control it, which person is lacking in the tribe, that's the one who's gonna born. That's the vector. So sometimes child is completely opposite from its parents. It doesn't look, it doesn't be. It's vector. Child could be vector that will lacking in the tribe. And now we'll go back to dermal vector. That's a vector that the vector in the tribe, mostly hunters. It was hunters. So all their body, they actually built to be hunters, so they can run fast, they can react fast, metabolism is faster, because they had to like protect us, they have to hunt. I mean, men a little bit different from women, but still in vectors they're very similar. Now, dermal with visual though, with dermal with audio vector, is gonna change completely personality also, even if they both have dermal vector, because then comes secondary vector. For example, dermal visual, most of the women, they could not get pregnant in ancient times. Now we evolutionize, but still sometimes they have these issues, because one of the roles of this dermal woman, it was a role like Angelina Jolie in the tribe. She had to, a lot of men died, women, like sicknesses, wars. So all the children that left behind, all these orphans in the tribe, somebody had to take care of them. That was that Angelina Jolie that adopted all these kids. It was dermal with usually with visual, and therefore she could not get pregnant. Now, if she cannot get pregnant, it's gonna be hard for her to get married, because her husband, he wants gene pool, he wants next generation, he wants children, and she cannot do that. So a lot of times she couldn't even get married. So therefore, when she got present, diamond, golden necklace, it's balancing her biochemistry. She feels better, because tomorrow this woman can survive. If she has golden rings, golden necklace, anal vector, she can always get pregnant. She didn't have these problems. Completely opposite. She's gonna put it in the box and maybe put it on once a year. She doesn't care about that. So women with dermal vector, their biochemistry is different. They need to do different things. Now, woman with this vector in ancient times, when she goes through fears, her energy is very powerful, you can say, more powerful than man. Inner energy. Man is outer energy, outside. Now, with her energy, if she goes through issues, starts with fears, she starts her energy becomes destructive. Everything around her starts to, like cattle dies, pets, dog gets sick, flowers you buy her, they get withered, they die, and everything becomes destructible. So in ancient times, when she comes to the village, that dermal vector woman, her energy more powerful than other vector women. That particular energy. So she comes to the village. Usually they even more prettier than other women because they sexuality they also use for survival. So both men, boys, and girls, it's a lot of times they neither homosexual, neither heterosexual, and because they use sexuality for survival. Now, when this woman she comes to the to a village, and if she goes through those fears, certain fear, we'll talk about that, and her energy becomes destructive, everything around her becomes destructive. There is hunger because even uh, the dogs, pets get sick. Even the wet, the bread that we make, everything becomes bad. So it's hunger leads to death. Now, all the village suddenly rebels and says she's a witch. We need to burn her as a witch because they don't understand what's going on. Whenever she goes, everything becomes destructive. So they burn her, and her worst fear is to be burned as a witch, and she gets burned. That's how they actually stipulated her as a witch in ancient times, because everything was handmade. The cattle, the crop, everything, and her energy it was so powerful that she kind of, you can say, influenced on those natural things. Now, another thing is, if we get back to dermal vector, boys with the same vector, usually with visual, people with visual, they can see better, they like day hunt. We used to have them day watchers. Even wolves, they have day watcher, they have night watcher. So audio, it's a night watcher. Somebody watched us at night. Visual, day, they can see better. So this boy, as we say, they don't have sexuality. They're neither heterosexual, neither homosexual. If they go through fear, the fear they have because they cannot protect themselves, they cannot be hunter or warrior, so tribe doesn't have enough food for everybody, they had to get rid of them, they had to kill them sometimes, and create first holiday, human sacrifice. That was our first holiday. Now, because we don't have enough meat for everybody, because this boy is in fear to be sacrificed or used as a trap for leopard or wild animals so we can hunt them down, because of this fear he starts to dress as a girl, that boy, and it takes off the stress. That's how they start to do that. They dress as a girl, they behave a girl, and man with anal vector can even seduce this boy because only anal vector can be also that homosexual but as a man. The visual vector with dermal, it's like a woman. It's more feminine energy. Even the boy has this feminine energy. So that anal vector can seduce this boy. So only certain vectors can become certain like homosexual, or also we're gonna talk about anal next one, but that's the one who also has you can say like love toward kids. They love kids, they want to teach them to be warriors, to be better. So if he goes through issues, they can harm kids. and that's how those things starts. That's what vector psychology explains why certain people do certain stuff. Now, it's impossible to explain in 5 to 15 minutes about anything, because I like to dig deep, and in order to explain something it might take hours. So I'm trying to create training where I'm gonna teach about this vector psychology, depression, and all that, because I don't like to talk about something like, if you have one answer for any question, especially about psychology, you cannot really dig into details and deep cover that question with answer. It's impossible. So what we're trying to do is just to, you can say, um, give an idea about vector psychology, depression, and all that. I'm not trying to explain it, because that's what training will be about. It's gonna be 3 months about. It's just impossible to explain it in 1 or 2 hours, because it's not. Even if a lot of people, I understand they want short answer, but it's not gonna do nothing. You wanna open business. What should I do? Here is 3 things. You're not gonna open business. It's useless. I wanna be whatever, rich. I wanna have good family. Okay, do these 3 things. It's not gonna work. It's useless. You have to work. You need mentor. Somebody has to check what you're doing and correct you, because you're gonna do a lot of mistakes. So when you hear an answer, it's useless. You're not gonna do nothing. When you come to a doctor, he wants to check your heart pressure, blood pressure, your sugar. He does analysis. Then he can decide. Then he can say that you need first to analyze. You cannot just, come to psychologist and he's gonna explain you what to do. First, which vector, what personality, then what your main problem, how you run into, get analysis. Then you explain about how to deal with certain things. Then he has to practice certain things. Just to tell you what to do is not enough also. You have to practice certain things. You have to go out and do some stuff. So whatever we're trying to do is just to give an idea. Any question you're gonna ask me, just to give an idea. I'm not trying to really cover it in 5-10 minutes and explain the vector psychology here. But you will get an idea, you understand? We're gonna go one by one, and the person will get an idea, I guarantee. And then you see if it's for you, if it's interesting, then we'll go further.